right, Femax. Come on. Be nice. All right, we had 2 speakers left. You guys enjoying it? Yeah. All right, our last 2 speakers is like you ever been to a fireworks show and it just gets more intense? Oh, my gosh. Got to go to the restroom? Don't. Hold it, because you're going to have your socks blown off, and most of you are barefoot, so it's going to get bad. Now, this next couple, when I flew to San Antonio to check out this company with the terrible name, EX whatever, Y or whatever the company was, and I'm thinking, no, I want to go check out EXP. One of the first people I met was Scott Lewis in the lobby, and he walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, I know who you are." I'm like, "Yeah, I heard all about you, and whatever I can do to help you, count me in." And he just was like, look at him in the eye, man to man. He goes, "This is the best place." And I was really kind of just taken by how sincere he was and how much he wanted to help. Call him, and I did call him a few times, and he would take my calls, he would coach me, he would help me, and he was one of the reasons that I made the decision, along with James, to come to EXP, and which was 21 short months ago, and compared to 20 years, okay, it's like hard time. 21 months, okay, exponential geometric progression, and so I tell you what, this couple they were pace setters at EXP. They've, I believe, sponsored now over 100 on their front line, and I think their rev share last month was, we'll just say, about what I weigh or something. I don't know. I'm trying to find a good way to say this. And I'm not a little person, okay? You can come pick me up and go, "Ooh, they're making good money," right? If you guys come give me a hug and, "Hey, this is pretty good." So help me welcome the most beautiful couple, Scott and Traci Lewis from San Antonio.
Wow. Who's excited? Man, I tell you what, I'm fired up. I'm sitting here by Rob Flick, and we're just, reminiscing about, 2 years ago. And so before we get started, though, I just want to introduce my beautiful wife and business partner. It's an honor to be able to stand on the stage with her and to work with her every day. And, she is changing lives, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I remember, she may kick me later for telling this story, but I always remember we'd always go to our local club for New Year's, right? And that's just where we went because it was close to home. We'd go to New Year's. And, it was always New Year's evening or the next day, and maybe some of you can relate to this in real estate. It's like, man, here we go again. Got to start over, right? Anybody relate to that? And I remember this last New Year's, we were in the Mercedes and making the turn, and I look over, and it's after midnight, which we shouldn't be driving, but we are. And, yeah. And I looked over, and tears are rolling down her face. And then she just starts giggling, laughing. I'm like, she goes, "We don't have to start over." It was a really big day for us. Traci used to, she ran the #1 team in the United States for Century 21 for 8 years in a row. She's been helping agents for her entire career. She's written several books, taught thousands of agents, and now she gets to help agents win. And she's going to give you a big secret to how to increase your real estate business. Here's my wife, Traci.
Thank you so much, sweetie. That was very sweet. Thank you. Okay, so one of the things I learned having a big real estate team is that if my real estate agents made more money, I made more money. Can I get a hallelujah on that, right? Okay, so one of the things that I taught very regularly was how to get 7% listings. How many of you think that you'd like to have a close for that? Okay, so I've asked Scott to role play with me and take it easy on me because we only have a few seconds here, okay? So I'm on a listing appointment, right, and Mr. Lewis here asked me, "What's your commission?"
What's your commission?
Well, Mr. Lewis, that's completely up to you. I work on your behalf. We can either do 6 or 7%. It's completely your choice. Most of my clients go for a 7% brokerage fee. Is it okay if I tell you why that is?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Well, okay, so, as you know, Mr. Lewis, most of us real estate agents are commission-based, right? And that's how we take care of our families. So I've got all these MLS sheets here, and I've spread them out on the table, right? And so let's pretend, Mr. Lewis, it's 5:30 on a Thursday night, and the real estate agent has 3 more homes to show in your subdivision, and they only have time to show 1 more. And yours is one of the 3, okay? And the house over here across the street is offering a 3% brokerage fee. You see, they put the brokerage fees right here on the MLS sheets. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. Don't judge me by this, okay? So this one's offering 3% brokerage fee, and this one's offering a 3% brokerage fee. But on your home, you're offering 3.5% to the buyer's agent. And if they only have time to show 1 home, and all of them fit the needs of the buyers, do you think that maybe if a real estate agent is struggling financially, they might consider showing your home above and beyond the other 3? Does that make sense, Mr. Lewis?
It does make sense.
Thank you so much. So what do you say we start at the 7% brokerage fees? If things don't go well, if we don't have your home under contract in 30 days, we can always adjust that. Don't you think that sounds reasonable?
Where do I sign?
There you go. Good answer. Yeah, and I've been using that quote. I'm telling you, it works like a charm because it's true. And we really, and I always say, listen, I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just saying that it's true. So I can tell you that 9 times out of 10, not only does it make sense to sellers, and I won't ask you to raise your hand, but as those of you that work buyers, do you think that perhaps for some buyers agents that might be an attractive thing to get a higher brokerage fees? Amen. Can I get a hallelujah on that? Okay, I'll turn it back over to Scott.
Awesome. Great job. Awesome. So everybody stand up real quick. Everybody stand up. Everybody. Everybody stand up. All right, stretch them out. Turn to this wall real quick right here. Reach out and grab the shoulders in front of you and give them a big squeeze. Rub them down. Come on. Stretch it out real fast. Rub it good. No below the belt, guys. I see you back there. Just kidding. All right, turn face the other wall. Do the same thing to those other 2 shoulders now. Come on. Laugh a little, stretch. Let's go. Wake up the room. All right, everybody have a seat. No, everybody stay up. Keep standing. Keep standing. Don't sit down. Keep standing. Keep standing. Don't sit down. I want to know who I'm talking to. So how many, if you've been with EXP for 2 years or more, or you're not currently with EXP, no, actually, those stay standing. Just those that have been 2 years or more at EXP, sit down. Rob got to have a seat, 1 person. 18 months or more with EXP, sit down. I think there's a movement happening, Brent. 12 months or more, sit down. 8 months or more, take a seat. 8 months or less, sorry. Whatever. 6 months or more, take a seat. It is more. If you've been with EXP 6 months or more, take a seat. 3 months. Look around the room. Now, for those of you that are still standing, here's what I want you to take from this event. The speakers have been unbelievable, but you're going, you know what, you can go ahead and sit down. We just got started with this. The only difference between you and 2,500 people on your team is time. It's just time. If you put in the effort, and I heard this guy say right here, if you put in the effort, this will happen to you. And it's happening for people all over the country. I can't believe what's happening. It's truly just, I have to pinch myself. And, I remember I got a phone call, and I'll go through this really quick because I know Rob's speaking next, and we got to get him on a plane. But I got a phone call from Rob Flick. And anybody in here been recruited by Rob Flick twice? I have. I'm the only one in the room. He recruited us twice, once into Keller Williams and then into EXP. At Keller in 2012, we were Recruiters of the Year globally. And our second revenue share check at EXP surpassed our profit shares at Keller Williams. Took 2 months, guys. And we were the #1 recruiters globally 2012. So is this real? Absolutely. Are the checks real? Guaranteed. Look in my account today. I got really giddy this morning when I saw our checks this morning. I mean, and it's the 22nd just rolls around so fast now. I mean, it's like boom, boom, boom. I mean, another, it's just another one. Boom. You turn around and boom. Used to be the bills rolled around really fast. So there's another one, and here's another one, and there's my mortgage payment, right? Now it's just these revenue share checks, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger every single month. And when Rob called me, I don't remember a whole lot about what he said. And I honestly, at that point, was just kind of done with real estate. We'd owned a franchise with Ben Keller. Honestly, I hated the model, and I hated what it was doing for agents. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 17 years old. I've built over 20 companies. I knew a little bit about business, and I hated the real estate model. And when he got done with me on the phone, I don't know why I got it, but I got it. And it hit me. I said, this is what every agent in the country needs. This is an entirely different model, and we can change hundreds of thousands of lives. Guys, that's happening. And the only thing I remember he said to me was, he was going through the revenue share and talking about it, and he said, Scott, I set up all night. Is Gene Frederick here? Set up all night with Gene Frederick. We're running numbers, and he said, I was making $200,000-$300,000 a year at Keller, have been for the last 20 years. I said, yeah, I know the story very well. And he said, well, I've run the numbers with this model and put them side by side. And he said, if I did the same thing that I did then now, he said, I'd be making somewhere between $6 and $8 million a year in residual income. I don't know what you're smoking, but I'll take a little of it. Right? I mean, I got to get down here, man. I got to get close to you guys. Is it all right for me to walk around? So I'm like, man, is that real? Can that really happen? Can that really, really happen? And I didn't believe it at first, but I thought, what if it's just a little bit true? What if it's just this much true? Rob, did you ever think it'd happen in 4 or 5 years? No, we didn't. Matter of fact, my only goal was to have 500 on my team in 3 years. I knew if I had 500, I could make $500,000 a year in residual income. I thought that would be an incredible start. He did it in 9 months. We did it in 12. I couldn't believe it. We reset our goals the first year 4 times, and in a good way, because we were blowing through them. We never dreamed it was going to happen and be this big, this fast. And here's what you need to understand. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. We are just getting started right now. We did an event just like this a week ago in Phoenix. Again, packed room, right? Agents across the country are starving for something different. And I know there's a model out there that it's called Compass. Anybody heard of this model? Compass is buying agents all over the country. We're winning agents one day at a time, every single day. They're flocking to this company. Give it up for my good friend, Brent Goat.
All right, you're awesome. Scott and Traci Lewis, gotta love them, man. We are putting together a trip you'll hear about in Cancun. Go ahead.
He wants me to tell how much we're making in revenue share. Please don't record this. I mean, please. So last month it was a little over 180,000 in revenue share.
186 and 42 cents.
186. That's a cool number. So, and I think this month it's right at 175. So it's unbelievable. We're just getting started, and it's amazing.
Thank you.